We've heard all of the rumors, right? If you monetize your videos, YouTube will give you more views. But does it actually work? Well, I decided to test it out and the results were pretty surprising. Got a question for you. I know there's a lot of variables to this, but roughly how much do you think you would make from AdSense revenue on 100 million YouTube views? Let us know in the comments below. Right then, down to business. If monetization means more views, that's a problem, especially if you're a smaller channel. If the YouTube algorithm favors bigger channels over yours, all because those bigger channels are making money for YouTube, that's not really fair, is it? How would such a system cultivate a creator community where there are opportunities for all? I think we all agree that it wouldn't, but there is anecdotal evidence dotted around YouTube which seems to support this belief. For example, YouTube recently started putting adverts on videos even if the channel isn't monetized, and typically those videos tend to have loads of views. That can't just be a coincidence, right? Also, if you look on Quora, the top answer to this question appears to support the notion that YouTube is a business, it's going to put monetized channels in front of more people. But YouTube do have a right to reply, and this is what they previously said about monetization being linked to views.
Does monetization impact video discovery? No, our recommendation system does not know which videos are monetized and which are not.
I think you can tell by the tone of Rachel's voice that she's been asked this question many times before and is fed up of answering it. So who's right on this one? Well, the only way to find out is through good, solid data. And it just so happens that vidIQ is in a perfect position to put this to the test. We monetized the vidIQ channel all the way back in 2017, and since then we made over 1,000 videos, and we haven't monetized a single one of them. Except for this random $2 that, to this day, I still cannot explain. With over 1 million subscribers and almost 100 million views, not monetizing our videos doesn't seem to have held us back, does it? But how do we know for certain if we don't switch it on? And perhaps, more importantly, how much money have we left on the table already? Well, if we class vidIQ as an educational channel with an average CPM of $9.89, remove YouTube's 45% cut, and then match it up against our views, that's $500,480. Now, joking aside, monetization is a little bit of a sensitive subject for me. When I joined vidIQ, I didn't want our content to be influenced by financial gain, chasing views for money's sake. And I didn't want to create any sort of barrier to your YouTube education, even if it was just a 15-second ad. But I didn't realize that we were going to get 100 million views and earn potentially $500,000. I could have retired by now. So in the interest of scientific YouTube research, and after your overwhelming support to turn on monetization, and because I am truly sick and tired of this makeshift microphone stand that doesn't work and I deserve a new one, we're going to turn on monetization and find out what happens to the channel. You know, it's actually been a while since I visited this screen on YouTube with any sort of intent, and completely forgot you had to go through all of this self-certification stuff. I'm pretty sure our content is quite safe for all advertisers though. As for what type of ads to display, I decided to turn completely to the dark side and just turn absolutely everything on, including non-skippable and mid-roll ads. After all, if we're going to put this theory to the test, we want to make our monetized videos as desirable as possible, right? Next, which video to monetize? I decided on a solid performer that's been bringing views to the channel for years, content that is typically known as evergreen. The numbers on this video have been fairly solid over 2 years, so it should be pretty easy to spot if monetizing it makes a huge difference. So with a little bit of fear, a little trepidation, but a bunch of excitement that I'm finally going to get paid to make videos, I switched on monetization and gave it a month to get some data. First of all, some good news. It appears that YouTube education runs at a pretty hot CPM. More microphone stands for me. But anyway, let's get to the reason you're all here. This is when I turned monetization on for the video. And this was the range of views we were getting pre-monetization. And this is the range of views we're getting now post-monetization on the video. Since monetizing a video, views and watch time are up 30% and subscribers gained are up a whopping 45%. Based on that single video experiment, if we monetize the entire channel, we would go from approximately 2.8 million views per month to 3.5 million views per month. Let the good times roll. Yeah, I'm afraid, just like this money gun, not everything is quite as it seems. Got to pick all this rubbish up now as well. There was a key part of this data I neglected to explain, the 2 weeks just before we monetize a video. That's because we made another change right here. Oh, would you just look at this mess? For crying out loud! This change had absolutely nothing to do with monetization and everything to do with re-optimization. It is one of the oldest tricks in the book, and it's probably going to annoy you. How to get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, a video published in 2020, but titled How to Get 1,000 Subscribers on YouTube in 2021. Yep, we'd simply forgot to update the year on the title. And when we did that, the effect on views was far more impactful than turning monetization on. Digging deeper into the data, when we updated the title, the click-through rate jumped significantly over the next 2 days, which then caused YouTube to share the content with more impressions. This is a perfect example of the YouTube algorithm in action. Now, some of you may argue that this is cheap and easy clickbait, but the engagement analytics show that people are watching it just as long as they did before the title was changed. Put simply, if the viewer is satisfied by the content, it's not clickbait for that target audience. And with that in mind, we did it again. How to get 100 subscribers on YouTube. Again, we updated the title and exactly the same thing happened, at least for a little while. And here's the really interesting thing. When we turned on monetization for this video, views actually went down. So it is interesting to see how both videos gain traction, but only one of those videos sustained traction. I was trying to figure out why that could be, and the one difference I found was traffic source. For the more successful 1,000 subs video, all the views plowed into search traffic, whereas for the 100 subs video, it was a combination of browse and suggested traffic. I think ultimately the moral of this data story is that if you do have evergreen content that is starting to lose a little bit of traction, you can re-energize it with some very simple changes to your titles. But anyway, back to monetization. What else can we test? How about launching a video with monetization turned on? Nope, that didn't work. The video underperformed and brought in less than $10. How about not updating the title, but turning on monetization? Nope, no change whatsoever and a single dollar in revenue. What about monetizing a really long video so YouTube can stick loads of mid-rolls on it? And that's another big fat no. I'm starting to see a pattern here. Here are the hard facts. Over the last month, we have monetized 30 videos on the vidIQ channel, and not a single one of them has seen any significant change in views because of monetization. What we can say is just before we started these monetization experiments, the channel did see a significant increase in daily views. And I honestly think that's down to simply making better content more targeted towards our core audience. So, categorically, from the tests we've done so far and the data we've received back, no, monetization does not impact YouTube views. But we will continue to test, and if you have any creative ideas on how we can experiment with this, let us know in the comments below. And what do we do with all of this newfound ad revenue? Well, here's our commitment to the vidIQ community. We're going to pull a Mr. Beast and reinvest all of that money back into the channel, be it equipment, resources, people. We're going to make better quality content for your benefit. With one small disclaimer. I think my shells need a few more trinkets. But how did we earn that money? Well, it's all down to this, CPM. Why is yours less, or indeed more? What affects CPM? And why is January the worst month to get paid on YouTube? You get all the answers in this video over here. Oh, and YouTube, if you want to prove me wrong by giving me 1 million views because I made this video over 8 minutes long and put on non-skippable and mid-roll ads, you have my permission.